Hey everybody! If you are an avid Palia fisher with just an excessive amount of makeshift furniture, as I am, then you may be in need of some ideas of what to do with it all. So I made this video to show how I've turned some of this makeshift furniture, among other things, into some cool flower pots. Let's get started. So this new trick that I have to show is a sort of recent change. I don't know if it was this patch or the patch that introduced building blocks, but you might be familiar with this Alt Group Select option with building blocks. You can pick up just one building block, or you can hold Alt and then click and it selects all the building blocks. However, for whatever reason, this seems to have extended to other items without there being an actual prompt for it. For example, I put this shelf down. There's no prompt for the Alt Select. However, I can Alt Select this. As you see, it goes from highlighting the bowl, pressing Alt highlights the whole boat. And instead of selecting the bowl, when I left click, it picks up the entire boat. Alright, so here I have this makeshift drum table, which normally can only be placed on the ground. You can't place it on, say, a shelf. And if you've seen past videos or other videos, you might be aware that the shelves can be used to rotate placement of objects. Anything you can place on a shelf, you can rotate the placement of it. So if you place, say, a fork on this drum table, hover over the fork, press Alt, it'll select the entire table, which then allows you to place it on the shelf. And I believe it allows you to place it on the shelf because it thinks that you're selecting the fork and not the drum table. Another thing that's cool about this is you can use this method to clip furniture into other things. Like, obviously, you shouldn't normally be able to place this drum table through this fence. Like, if I select just the drum table, it doesn't go. But if I put the fork on it, and then if I Alt left click the drum table, I can, to an extent, clip it through the fence. Okay, so how can I make this into a flower pot? Well, for that I'm going to be using the old anchor trick. I'm going to use one of these smaller round pavers for that. I'm going to put on the shelf, turn it upside down, and I'm going to grab it, and then I'm going to cancel placement by pulling an item out of my inventory, which happens to be this boat in the number 1 spot. And then I'm going to grab the drum table and fork with the Alt left click and place it on the paver, like that. Then grab the paver and then place the paver, and there you go. You have a flipped over drum table. Now let me show you a more polished version of this. I'm going to use the gourmet bowl just to show that this can be done with other gourmet objects. I'm going to place the paver up here, flip it around, just check the height of it, bump this up just a tad. That's probably pretty good. Then I'm going to grab this with left click. I'm going to press 1 to pull an item out of my inventory and cancel the placement. I'm going to Alt left click this to grab the whole thing and place it on the paver. I'll line it up. That looks pretty good. And before I finish this, I'm going to show you that you can, from here, actually pick up the bowl and it still works. grab the paver underneath with left click, put it somewhere again with left click. It's going to flip that bucket over. You can still grab just the paver and still move it all around. You can aim over the bucket and alt left click to grab the whole thing. Still goes with you. Alright, so how do you put flowers in here? Well, I will show you. I'm just going to put this down here as a marker. So I don't forget where this is placed. Going to grab all of this, move it over. I'm not going to left click, I'm going to press 1 to pull something out of my inventory to cancel the placement. And then I'm going to just put some flowers where it last was. There. And then I'm going to go to my H menu and swap to a different plot. And then swap right back. And because I did not commit the placement to the bucket, it slingshots back to where it was initially, where the flowers now are. And now you have your little makeshift flower pot. I'm going to show you another one. A request I get often is how to use the boat bookshelf, the Flotsam Bookshelf, and make it look like a real boat. I'm going to put the paver on here, just as before. I'm going to find a gourmet object. Let's do the plate this time. And I'm going to rotate the paver. Let's do that. So I'm going to grab the whole shelf. I'm not going to place the shelf. I'm going to move it and then cancel the placement right about there. And I'm going to do my alt left click on the bookshelf and place it on the paver. Left click the paver, left click on the ground, and my boat just disappeared, just like magic. For my next trick, I will raise it from the earth because I did it wrong. So let's try that one more time. And what I did wrong was I had it the wrong direction. Alright, so rotate it that way. Going to then rotate it this way, same as before. Cancel the placement. And place. Grab and place. There you are, much better. Just need to get the placement right, and for that it's just a matter of guess and check. As you saw, sometimes I get the angle wrong, sometimes I get it right on the first try. As you do this more and more, you'll get the hang of it and understand the reason for why you do it in the angle or way that it is. There. That looks much better. And you can put flowers in there. Or at least you could if it was lower to the ground. So let's try another one. There, that looks better for a flower pot, so you'll be able to put flowers in the ground in between the shelves. Alright, so now we need to get the other half of the boat on here. And you'll notice that it's difficult to get it back on the shelf because of clipping issues. However, remember, if you alt left click to grab the whole thing, it clips much more. So remember that when you're putting it back on the shelf. Then rotate the shelf, and I did place it on the shelf. This is not canceled, this is placed. Turn it, and then this is gonna go right there like that. So that's why it's easier, because I have the first boat, I know exactly where the second boat already needs to go. And I'm going to grab the paver, place it down there and cancel the placement. Then I'm going to pick up the bookshelf that's in the way, cancel the placement. So the other bookshelf also needs to have a bowl or gourmet item on it before placing it. So it'll actually get placed on the paver. Let's try right there. Not bad, not bad. It's just slightly askew. A little bit of trial and error will get that cleaned up. As you can see, you can then just easily put some flowers in it. And just as before, you can pick up the gourmet items off here. They don't need to be kept on here. And you can alt click to grab the whole boat, take it with you, put it right back, that sort of thing. Real quick, if you wanted to say use the boat as an actual boat instead of as a potted plant, you would do the same sort of thing. Paver on the shelf, rotate it, grab the paver and just put it like way out here, cancel it, then come back here and grab the bookshelf with the alt left click, put it on the paver, left click for the grab the paver, left click again, and it'll launch it way out here. If you work on those placement and launching skills, you can set up a boat for your pond, make a little display of it. And here's another example of a makeshift pantry I converted for the purpose of plants, my boat, and my drums again. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Share a comment below with other furniture items that maybe you've turned into plant potters. I'd love to hear about your results.